How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a hero guide, a Lord hero guide on the legendary Piercer Lord Aracha. So we're on an account here with very good heroes highlighted by a very good Lord for those heroes, these Piercer heroes over here, and then Aracha. I will tell you though, it's not a bad account at all, not one bit, but the gear is fine. It's completely normal. You know, it's not gonna be crazy ancients. It's someone who's just reaching 20 and 21. He just beat 20 today. I'm gonna beat 21 for him right now, but we're gonna do it all on the back of Aracha and her fantastic, fantastic Lord skill, and then just having a meta comp. So it's really gonna show you how when you have the right heroes and you pair a Lord with them, you're just completely elevated. If you wanna see a more like by the skin of your teeth kind of guide, I have a video basically with Aracha and Idril, no other DPS, just soloing, nearly soloing, solo DPSing 321. Pretty wild stuff. It's a pretty good build on Idril, but basically the two of them are doing it. Here it's going to be kind of a different thing. We really want to highlight Aracha. To highlight a Lord, you want to bring a lot of faction members from the faction over which she lords. So we're doing that, right? We're going to bring Razak, we're going to bring Silas, a bonded Silas, right? If I could turn the bond off, I would, but I can't. It'd be cool if they had that toggle, but kind of a niche content creator only request. Then we got Alora at A1, which is the only way I really like to use her. She needs to be at least A1. And then of course, A5 Idril. So we'll break down Aracha's kit. You'll see she doesn't have any crazy skill ups or anything. Just gonna be totally normal. I will use her as a hero though. The nerf has not yet arrived, so I will be taking advantage of her poison. But really I'm gonna show you how to use her as a tank, like to take the aggro from the mobs, the front spawn mobs that taunt you and stuff. And then of course the Succubus Queen boss. Between all that, we're going to do this pretty handily. Like I said, not with bad gear, but certainly not with good gear. This is going to be a beautiful Legendary Lord Aracha guide. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty guys, the gearing has been completed. I'm just going to take you right down the line, but let's start with the girl of the hour and let's go through her kit. So what does Aracha do? The main thing is going to be her Lord skill. If we go over here, like any legendary Lord, she increases her faction team members' basic attributes by 15%. That is the standard. Then the next line is the same as Lunaria. Faction team members' attack ranges are also increased. Sometimes this is filling out the attack range, you know, an extra tile on the sides. Usually it's adding an extra line further with a lot of the actual marksman piercers. That's what she does, and that's what's so amazing. And then what makes her really special, for every one tile away from the target, increases their damage by 5% up to 50%. So if you think of someone like Silas, you think of 3 tiles in front of him as his normal range. With this part of the Lord skill, now it's 4 tiles in front. That's how far away like the mobs and the boss are to start. So 4 tiles away, he's getting a 20% boost. Pretty sweet, right? Think of someone like Idril as she takes over the whole map. When she goes to those back corners, she's getting, if not a 50% boost, it's either 40 or 45. It's tremendous, and it just breaks her in half. She just becomes a completely cracked out hero. It's amazing. This skill is specifically for, I guess, a couple places in Void Rift, and then of course in GR3 with Idril. It might be better than Yovar. For all future stuff, the overtime damage boost that Yovar gives to all the Piercer and all the Marksmen is just going to be better. But as it stands right now, this is just tremendous, and for GR3, it is a cracked out combination with Idril, as you're about to see. Let's go down through the skills now. Let's start with the ultimate. The hero evolves, so she just becomes stronger, increasing damage by 50% and hitting one more target for 25 seconds. This can go up to 30 seconds, and this can go up to another to 60%. We're at level 4 right now, so nearly max skilled on the ult. It's solid, but the damage boost, that's not where her damage is coming from. It's nice, you know, when she gets her spider toxin, which is quite akin to like the way we have burn in the game right now. But then it's just when the heroes die or the enemies die, like the mobs that she kills or are killed that have spider toxin on them, as you're about to see from the passive. When they die, they'll explode with AoE poison because of her, and that's where any actual damage she's about to get will be coming from. It's pretty sweet. It's not so important. It's not reliable at all. But for this specific thing where you have the mobs continually spawned in front of the succubus bosses we're about to see, and they die a lot and they're wearing spider toxin a lot, you do get a lot of poison explosions, and she does put out some damage on the boss. For grittier comps than you're about to see, she can actually do some proper stuff, but right now we're going to handle it pretty handily, because I really want to show her like doing her best at the peak of her powers, helping out her faction. Now we've got our basic attack here, deals 100% damage. We're at 105 right now at level 2, goes up to 120, damage to one enemy, and it can also hit airborne units, so that's special. She's someone like Sealatu or Absent or Arrogance, in that she's a fighter, not a marksman or something, and she can hit airborne units. It's pretty nice. Let's go to first passive now. Spider Toxin. Attacks inflict Spider Toxin. So what is that? Deals at base, it's 10% continuous magic damage per second. You can get this up to 15% with skill ups. We're at 11% right now on the target for 3 seconds. So naturally, it is weaker than burn, right? Typically, burns last for 5 seconds. Some heroes get 7, like Arrogance's burns last for 7 seconds. Here, only 3 seconds. Everything else, basically the same, just only going to be 10 and then 15% magic damage per second. But it's damage over time. It's magic damage. It has a duration. It is what it is. When a target dies, this is the important part, and they're wearing Spider Toxin or they're under the Spider Toxin debuff, it will explode, dealing 20% AoE damage. Who cares? But it will also inflict poison. This is a nice poison, 5% poison. It has not yet been nerfed, so it's going to deal continuous true damage equal to 1% of the target's max HP per second, stacks up to 3 times. I don't know how many stacks you can get on the boss. I guess if the deaths all line up really nicely and they're all wearing Spider Toxin. But with the Spider Toxin, they have to be under that debuff. They have to die, they have to explode, they have to hit the boss. It's a lot of RNG, it's really hard to plan for. She can poison the boss and do cool stuff the way Liam would, or the way Hutter could, or Esme, in this little moment Esme has before she gets nerfed, or the poisons get nerfed. It's unreliable, far less reliable than Liam or Esme, something like that. And far less reliable than in the future once this poison is nerfed, and Liam has what poison is now through Neurotoxin. He's gonna be the only one doing anything like this. That's so cool. So it is nice, it's a bonus, it's hard to lean on. That's what I'm trying to say. If we go to the final passive here, this is really cool. It can help, kind of immobilize the mobs and stun the mobs that come at you, the taunting mobs that fire in and try to blow us up. It's much better for other content like PvP content, specifically Guild Wars. This can be really nice. Every 5 attacks, this will go down to 4 attacks. The base is 6 attacks. The next attack will ensnare the target in spiderwebs and inflict stun. So it's not an immobilize, it's a stun. Same kind of idea though. It's going to last for 1 second. If the target is airborne, the effect duration is extended to 2 seconds. With skill ups though, you can see if you get this to level 4, a lot better. The stun lasts for 2 seconds on normal targets and 3 seconds on airborne targets. So if you want to use her, especially in like PvP stuff, you're going to want to get her at least level 4. That's pretty nice. Let's go to Awakenings now. We might as well do our due diligence. Spider Stance, so during her ultimate, when she enters that Spider Stance, she's going to increase all damage by 20%, a 1.2x multiplier. It is fine. The A2, this is really cool if you can get it, because yeah, plus 300 attack, whatever. That will help with her Spider Toxin and with the new version of Poison that is going to scale off of attack, not enemy max HP. But what's most important is this. She enhances her Lord skill, so now all faction team members are going to deal extra damage to airborne units. It's not telling me here, but it should be 5%. There you go. You got to click on it. If we go to A3 now, it increases the duration of Spider Toxin and Poison. Previously, Spider Toxin was lasting 3 seconds. Now it will last 7 seconds. And then Poison going to last 3 seconds. Now it will last 5 seconds. That's big. It's hard to get these dupes of these lords. I don't think she's a good enough hero to put soul stones into, like to help her hero skills. If you wanted to get the A2, that's something. I wouldn't soul stone her, especially with some of the other heroes coming. But no question, if you want to make her a better hero, this makes her a much better hero. Not a lord, but an actual hero that you use. Now we go to A4, rage regen based off of attack, +2. So every attack, she'll get 2 more points of rage, and then again, rage regen percentage will scale off of this. Finally here, A5. This one's pretty sweet. When an enemy dies with Spider Toxin, deals 110% AoE damage to nearby enemies that were already affected by poison. So previously, it was a 20% AoE damage burst, not too cool, but it did place the poisons. Now if they're already under the poison, it's also going to deal another 110%. This makes her a much better damage dealer. However, she's not a good damage dealer. She's an amazing lord. So let's check her out right now as a lord. I'll show you the build I did first. We'll show everyone else's build at the end. Featured hero first, then the comp, then the fight, then everyone else. So I'll show you, I did not go really for damage. We did get some attack, we did get some crit, we did get some crit damage, but most important, I wanted some semblance of HP, and I wanted her fast as hell. Because I want her attacking a bunch to get lots of rage regen based off of attack, so we can get this ult going. That's the only way we're going to get any semblance of damage at all. However, also, I'm not going to do this in this battle because I'm pairing her with Hollow, but I do think it's an amazing pairing if you don't want to use a healer like Hollow or something to run her in a Lunacy Visor. So this would be the build I suggest because she can kind of tank because she'll keep getting her hits out. She's hitting those airborne targets. She's healing up, she's healing up, she's healing up. She really can tank the way a lot of people would use someone like Olag, or I like to use Volca. So she's a great option just to make sure she gets even more hits and more opportunities to ult, get Spider Toxin out there, have more enemies dying while wearing Spider Toxin, exploding, and getting AoE poisons. I put on Watchguard's Ambition, a legendary artifact. Each basic attack launched has a 10% chance to trigger another basic attack. With her, with this build, with this strat, the more attacks, the merrier. I'll click through. You'll see we went for some DPS, we went for some HP, we went for lots of attack speed, wherever we could get it. We got this nice attack speed amulet over here. There we go, guys. Pretty sweet stuff. We'll get into everyone else after, but for now, let's get the comp going. So I'm going to tell you, this is going to be pretty easy. I really do think so. Unless my fingy slips, I think we're good to go. Let's get down. Immediately, we will get Dolores. This will be a mini little 321 guide, of course, as well. Let's wait. As soon as we can deploy Silas or whoever you want to use in this spot, we will do it. So there's 10, 11, and here comes 12. Let's go. Next thing we're going to do is as soon as Dolores is ready, we're going to trigger. I will say we've got enough firepower here that we can trigger Dolores, and then once she expires, she can not get the roll from her passive, the additional 300 rage towards her ultimate, and we could still pull it off. However, if we don't get it here, just for the sake of the guide, I will restart because I want you guys to see that. That is pretty important, especially if it's a tighter situation than you're in, if your gear is a notch lower than this. So as soon as she's ready, we're going to trigger her. Let's min-max that thing. And now these guys are ready. So let's get Idril down. Now let's get Laurel down. Laurel's in an Invig set, so you'll see it landed on Idril. Let's pick her up. Now we can immediately trigger Idril, and you'll see the damage Idril's doing is enormous. Sure, she's getting inspiration, but the big thing is, I mean, how many tiles away is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're talking a 25% damage boost. And then I don't know how diagonals work, but when she moves over right here, look at that damage, 188. I don't know if it's just vertical or not. Worst case, it's 25. Otherwise, if it's up and over, I guess this would be 4 tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's at least a 20 to 30% damage boost. If anyone knows how they count, not just dead on, let me know. But this is crazy. I mean, this is 21, guys, and she's treating it like it's absolutely nothing. Truly like it's nothing. So we'll wait, and you'll see, normally on sweatier comps, I would trigger Silas here, even though he's about to kill this guy, just from Idril's passive to get the boost, the extra damage when an ally triggers their ult while she is ulting. Look at this. She's going to take this guy down without any help. And we're watching Idril, but we're really watching Aracha. The damage boost she's getting is so crazy, we handle that like it's literally nothing. Now let's see if we get the roll from Dolores. We do, thank God I did not want to have to do this twice. So as soon as the boss stops moving, that's a good time to trigger Silas. Now you'll see we get a boost for Idril, huge damage, and now Aracha's ready. Let's get her down. Normally, you could already wait and then get like Razak down, do Aracha at the end, but I do want to highlight Aracha, so we shall do that now. Let's trigger Dolores as soon as she's ready, and you'll see we're going to completely melt the boss, and the crazy damage coming from Silas and Dolores is more from Aracha than it is the gear. The gear helps, but the gear's not that good. It really is just Aracha is so cracked out. So we'll trigger Aracha now. You can try to see what her damage is. I truly hate this stage because it's impossible really to see where the damage is coming from. But hopefully we see some people dying. She's placed the Spider Toxin now. So you'll see once she places the Spider Toxin on these taunting mobs that are summoned, then when they die, we should see some poisons landing on the boss, assuming we don't kill the boss too quickly, which is going to be an issue potentially with this comp. So let's wait for Down to trigger one more time with her passive, and then we can already, we can already pick her up. I did make one little mistake, I will tell you, because I wanted to highlight Aracha earlier, and I knew we could mistake one little suboptimal thing. I knew we could get away with it because we're going to kill the boss so quickly. But if you were worried at all, you should do Razak, then Aracha, right? Because the boss is going to target the last place unit. But we have other ways to get through that, and I really wanted to give Aracha an opportunity. Doesn't seem like we're getting too many chances to land this poison, though, unfortunately. Let's get Laurel. Let's let her draw the aggro from the boss. Please have someone die. So there we go. That guy died. He was wearing Spider Toxin from Aracha, and we got poison up. That's what I needed to see. Let's wait. She targets Laurel. We can pick her up now. I know it wasn't perfect timing on Idril and Dolores, but honestly, when you're putting out this kind of damage, it doesn't matter too much. And again, you'll see the gear is not too crazy. Aracha is just too crazy. That's what's going on. I've also said we don't really need Alora here, but why not place her just so we can show her off? And as soon as Silas can get this ult off, we should be good to go. Can we get one more poison? Yes, another poison there when that guy died. So Aracha's putting out lots of Spider Toxin, and now 2 stacks of poison. That's pretty sweet. Let's kill the boss, and you can see I really hope Razak doesn't blow this for us, and he did not. Excellent. So we'll leave Aracha down. I'll show you how you can use her to help Dolores just a bit. To help Idril just a bit, but we will definitely pick up Silas. We can trigger now with Hollow, and we wait. So the reason I'm leaving Aracha down is because this is a manual ult. They do let you trigger it even when there's no one in range, so we can use Idril, her passive, to use this ally's ultimate and soup it up. A nice little trick if you're struggling at the end to get one little extra burst. I'll go over Idril's passive when we pull her up as well. So now Alora's there, we can turn off the invisibility. See, I didn't really need her because we have Laurel coming back around, but no reason not to get her going. And you can see she's actually putting out half decent damage. When you see the gear, we did take advantage of her A1. I think she's at like 143 crit rate, so that extra 43 is translated to crit damage. That's what her A1 does. Let's place her down here. But the damage she's really putting up, hitting up these big numbers, 50k plus with this gear, is because of Aracha, because these guys are 3 and 4 tiles away. It's pretty sweet. You'll see another thing you can do if you want to hold off on triggering Allura, if you could get the timing right, you could wait to place Laurel, then trigger Allura. She'll get the 20% damage boost that way if you really need that extra damage, because Allura does not hit well. You can see she's still struggling. Like, Allura's, she's tough to use. Let's see if she can pull it off and I don't have to waste this. Can you pull it off? She's still invisible. Oh, she went back invisible. Okay, of course she can pull it off. Excellent. So Aracha made Allura usable. That's pretty cool. You don't see, or at least I don't see Allura doing cool things every day. For the sake of speeding this up, I'm going to do something slightly suboptimal, but will help speed runniness. Well, actually, let's see. Never mind. Idril, I was going to say I was going to pick up trigger Dolores, then pick up Laurel already. I mean, we're so close at 88%. No reason to do that now. Let's wait. As soon I could have triggered Hollow is what I could have done, but I was being greedy with trying to take advantage of this passive. Let's trigger. Let's trigger. Let's trigger. Let's trigger. Let's trigger. Let's get Silas down, and you'll see it's just a complete melt job. Let's use Aracha again. So watch these hits from their 98k. Now I trigger Aracha. The next ones are going to be into nothingness. They would have been like 250k or something, but of course she shot at nothing because Idril does Idril things, right? We'll leave Laurel down because there's no reason not to give Silas the boost, and I'll show you what that boost looks like. So you see right now there's no buffs. You can trigger Silas. And now you see he's given that sword. That's from, as long as Laurel isn't ulting, she'll place that buff. It's going to be a 20% damage boost. Lovely. Now we can pick Laurel up, and we're off to the races. So pretty cool. It was really easy, right? Like, not to, make it sound too simple, but Aracha really does that. She has that effect on your Piercer team, and that is what I'm trying to highlight here. As a hero, not the craziest hero, but as a Lord, especially for this content, absolutely cracked out. There you go. I'll show you the stats. Silas doing big things. You'll see Idril doing big things. Razak, but Aracha did put out some damage, and almost all of that, I guarantee you, came from her poisons. So unfortunately, that will go away, but she's viable-ish. Let's say that. Allura doing Allura stuff. Let's show the rest of the builds. We'll start with Idril because she's the most important, and I do want to show you that passive, and then I'm just going to go really, really fast just so you can see. So with Idril, you'll see we put by far his best gear on Idril. Spellbound Arcana set, and you got a couple Ancients we picked up along the way. If we go to skills, she's obviously maxed out. This is what I want to show you. Combo shots. Each time an ally casts their ultimate, the hero's next attack will deal 100% increased damage. Airborne units take 70% extra damage instead. It is not instead, it is additionally. So basically, it is a 2.7x multiplier. It's 170% extra damage to airborne units. It's tremendous, and this is why we left Aracha down even after we killed the boss, so we could focus on triggering that manual ultimate when we wanted to, basically as like tactical extra damage button from Idril. If you've watched my GR3 stuff in the past, you've seen me do it a lot. So that's going to be Idril, pretty simple. She's going to maxed out Idril's gauge, a pretty natural fit for her. Let's go down the line quickly with these piercers. So we have a Shadow Gaze, nothing too crazy. We didn't have a Spirit Siphon, so just a Shadow Gaze over here on Silas. For his gear, this is the next best gear on the account. It's pretty solid, but again, nothing too crazy. What does this come out to? 178% crit damage. The attack is at 13.2. It's nice, but it's fine, right? It's like a normal Infernal set you will farm up in 2, 3, 4 weeks once you reach 19, right? Which is how most people will have to progress. We could have gotten away with a lot less because of Aracha, but, we want to have an authentic look, not just use his worst gear for no reason. Yeah, again, that's the artifact, and he is max skilled. The Virnabond helps tremendously, but I wish I could have toggled this off. You would have got to see Aracha shine a bit more. Let's now go to Razak. He's just dusted up, so these are the skills we have. He is in a 1 promotion Sharpshooter Crest. For gear, I went total broken set, and I'm just going for attack, crit rate, and attack speed. Any crit damage is bonus, so attack bonus with some attack speed. And then we've got attack bonus with some attack speed. Then we got attack bonus with some attack speed. Made sure we got him close to crit cap, but because he's going to be going pretty quick, he doesn't need to be that close. Then we got crit rate and attack bonus on an attack speed set, right? On whirlwind set. And then again, attack bonus, attack speed, crit rate. The gear is not too crazy. Aracha makes it super easy. 16k attack is really nice. I went hard on that. 88.5% crit rate. Not much crit damage at all. You saw he completely handled the left side like it was nothing. That's because of her. This build is not that good. Broken set. under 250% crit damage, not crit capped. We completely got away with it. So there you go with Razak. Moving down the line, we've got Allura. We did a fracture set for her since she's never taking damage. This is just like a permanent 45% crit damage boost. Why not? Definitely, if you have her A1, go crit rate Bangle. If you don't know her A1 over here, excess crit rates converted to crit damage. That's lovely. So that's basically what we did. We went for a lot of attack with crit rate and crit damage and some attack speed, and there you go. So all in all, even though it says she's only at 269.5% crit damage, she also gets this 43.5%. And from her passive over here, she's getting another 5% crit damage, and then that extra crit rate is another 5% crit damage. So it's 10% more, plus this stuff over here, It's all adding up, right? Pretty sweet. Actually, I completely misspoke. So there's an extra 15% and an extra 25%, but because the 15 is excess, it's an extra 40%. So that's how we're seeing those big numbers, and then we combined her with Aracha. It's really nice. We saw Aracha already. I think that covers all our piercers. So let's keep moving along. We'll go really quick now. Volca, we didn't use her. She's not wearing gear. Broken set for Hollow, just going for high rage regen, high attack speed. That's it. She doesn't need to heal much at all. We just want her to heal a lot to take advantage of her A1. We wanted her as much a rage regen as we could get. It's a soft cap at 100%, but why not keep going? So we even put a golden scarab on her. Healing was not an issue. We did not have a good Invig set for Dolores, so we went Glacier. You can see pretty solid. We got her to, 11.899 with a Keen Wisdom, and then she also gets that 6% attack contribution from the HP. So, it's something. I mean, what does this come out to? Nearly 20%. So if it was 20%, it would be 1.2k more attack. So this is probably, I don't know, between 1k and 1.1k. Solid from Dolores. Did not matter at all for Laurel. She was just there to be picked up and stuff, and then place Invig on Idril. We didn't need the Invig on Idril for this battle, but why not? And then here, it didn't matter on Dallin. Her job was, put the Lucky Legacy on her, make sure this skill, Rebel, is maxed out. And there you go. Guys, that is going to be Aracha. She is just a godly, hyper-meta lord, especially for content like this. If you pulled her this weekend, you should be really excited. If you're watching this in the future and you pull her, you should be really excited. She's incredibly meta. She's really viable as well in Guild Boss because you can pair her with your Silas and with your Hex. And you're going to see her on a lot of the top teams in the world. So maybe that's actually how we'll end it. I'll just show you. It's not just GR3. She's tremendous in Void Rift. Again, just really as a Lord. And then, of course, super duper strong. Where are these teams? Everyone's using Nightmare nowadays, but we'll find one. Come on now. This is crazy, actually. Oh, because this is your guild rankings. Of course. There you go. Here you go. Aracha. Perfect. I was like, how could she not be here? Number 4, Aracha. Number 5, Aracha. Number 6, Aracha. And number 1, Aracha. So there you go. She totally works. She's pretty great. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have Aracha, I hope this helped. If you like my stuff, like it. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe. Share with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you real soon.
Fastidious.